So in today's video, I'm going to be using these yarns. I'll be making use of two. I'll be doubling the strands because it's a bit thin, and I'll be using my 4mm hook for the up part of the skirt. For the lower parts, I'm going to be using my 4.50mm. Okay. First of all, we'll be starting with the slip knots. Okay. So we'll be making the band of the skirt, and to make the band of the skirt, I'm going to be chaining 4 chains first of all. 3, 4. Okay, and then I'll be chaining one more. Then I'll be going into this chain with a single crochet into the 4 chains with I'm going into each chain space with a single crochet. Please do not mind that mistake I was about to make. So a single crochet. So for a single crochet, basically you go into the chain space, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through two. Okay, so we'll be chaining one to seal off that row, and now we'll be going in with I always get confused if it's back loop or front loop, because I usually say this place is the back, so this place is the front. So in my own words, this is the front loop. So I'm going into the front loop with a single crochet into every front loop with a single crochet, and basically this is what I'll be doing. Into the space here, the fourth one, which is the top of the band, I'll be going into both loops with a single crochet. Okay, then chain one to seal off that row. Go into the first the first space, both loops with a single crochet, and then I continue doing my front loop into the other 3, and we keep this going. We keep repeating the same thing basically for every row until we get the length that can fit around the waist. Okay, so do not get confused. Front loop, front loop, front loop, and when we get to the top, we go into both loops because I want the up to be cinched. So we keep repeating the same thing, and I will meet you when I have completed the band. So keep measuring it around your waist so it can be your waist size, because this is supposed to be fitted around the waist. So welcome back. I just completed the band, and this is about 27 inches when stretched. So I ended my last row at the top. Okay, the top, which is where we go through all of the loops, both loops, not just the front loop. And the reason why I did this is because I would like to join from the top to the bottom. Okay, so that I can start doing the body of the skirts from the bottom part of this band. All right, so I'll be going in from here first. So this is how I like to do it. I go in from here and I pull the loop from both stitches, and then I go into the first stitch on the first loop here, and I pull through the same loop from the same place, and I go in with a single crochet. Okay, then I go in here and I go into the loop facing me which I like to call the back loop, and I pull up a loop and I slip stitch. Then I go into the next space, which was our initial foundation chain. Then I go into the back loop here, yarn over, pull through the both loops, and slip stitch. Then this is the last one. Go in here, go through the back loop as well, pull through both, slip stitch, and I make a chain one as well. And that is it. I have completed this part of our work, as you can see, and it's covered. So now we can start working the body of the skirt. So I'm going to just turn it this way, and I already did my chain one, so I'll be going in here with a single crochet, and I'll be going into every space with a single crochet. Every space I come across is getting a single crochet. So literally we are going with a single crochet into each row we did in the band. Okay, so it's just a single crochet, and you keep going until you get to the end, and then you join your rows together, and I'll see you. So I've gotten to the end of this round, and I'll be joining my row here or round here. So it's complete. So for our round two, I'll be turning my work around, and I'll be starting from the next page. Don't worry, we are going to be working into here as well. All right, so into this space here, the first stitch, we'll be going in with two stitches, with two single crochets, okay, because we will need to expand. So this is our first increase, and then I'll be going into every other stitch with a single crochet until I get to the opposite side, where I'll be doing my increases, and I'll also be increasing at the back. Okay, I hope my lighting is not casting shadows on the work, and I know I'm going a bit fast, but it's just the same single crochet is all through. So I'll be making increases on three sides: this side of the waist, this side of the waist, and at the back, you know, the middle of our butts, basically. So now I've gotten to the half part of this skirt here, of the waist, and I'll be going in here, and I'll be going in here with two single crochets. So I've done my two single crochets, and I'll just continue until I get to where it's supposed to be, the back part. Okay, so I think we have gotten to the middle. I'm not counting, honestly. I do not have the mental gigabytes for that. We'll be making our increase here, because I suppose where I'm at right now is the middle. So in this same stitch where I did my single crochet, I'll be going in with another, I'll be going in with another single crochet. I shaked my camera. Okay, and then we'll keep going until we get to the end, and then we'll turn our work around again, and where you have an increase, we are going to be doing increases there in those same places. Now this would be a good time to use a stitch marker. Okay, this would be a really good time to use a stitch marker, but honestly I'm not cut out for that right now. I'm such a terrible instructor. Oh my god. But I think this is the everyday person you get. Like, do we always use stitch markers? Sometimes we are exhausted, we are like, and it's right here in front of me. All I have to do is reach and I'll find stitch markers everywhere. Stitch markers, see, got them. But will I use them? No. But don't be like me. Use the stitch marker, okay? Okay, let's stitch mark this, this. So the first stitch of the both, okay? So we'll always stitch mark the first stitch of the increase because we increased two, so we'll stitch mark the first two of each increase going back and forth, um, because we'll be doing the increases on the first stitch of the increases. Okay, all right. And then I'll be joining together here. Okay, chain one. Remember, this space is still available for stitching. Okay, this space here, when we join the row together, we're going to be increasing in that same spot. All right, so do not forget. So yarn over, go in here with our single crochet, and when we get to where I have the stitch marker, we'll be increasing, and we'll be increasing on the other side where we did increases as well, and we keep increasing on these three sides until we get full hip size. All right, so whatever your hip size is, you keep increasing until you get like until you get your complete hip size. And yeah, basically. So we've gotten to where our stitch marker is. Okay, and I'll be going in one, two. Okay, and then I'll be putting my stitch marker into the first one. All right, and I'll keep going until I get to where I'm supposed to increase again, which is here, where, here. And I'll be doing my increase in the first stitch, not the second one, the first one. All right, and we'll be doing the same thing, going round, round, round until we get the size of the hips. And when I complete that, I'm going to come back and show you how I do the rest of the body parts of the skirts. So I hope this is detailed enough, and I will see you when I've achieved the full size that I am trying to get out of this. Plus I'll be changing my hook. I'll be changing my hook as well. Please, let's not forget that we are using the 4mm and the 4.50mm, and you can use a different hook size for yourself, but I'm choosing to use this. Actually, this is just a choice, so use whichever one works for you. And once you achieve your size, you know you're good. You don't necessarily have to do as much or as less rows as I have done. So I'm here and I'll be doing my increases. Okay, and just in case you want to be sure of where to attach our stitch marker, attach it into the first stitch in your 2 stitches of increases. Okay, you attach it to the first one. Okay, and then when you come back again and you do an increase, you attach it to the first one as well. So that's how it keeps going. and I'll see you when I've achieved about, let's say, 10 to 15 rows. I don't know, a good few rows. See you soon. Alright guys, welcome back. So this is where we're at, and I've gotten the size I want. When I stretch this, it's going to give me the hip size that I want for the size small. And now I'm going to begin the part that has the slits. Okay, and in order to start that, I'll be needing to cut off my yarn. Okay, because we'll be starting from a new point. So I could have settled for this side if you want your slits to be directly on the hip side, but I want it to be in front. I want it to be at the front, in between one lap. Okay, so I'm gonna have to start from, it's going to be on the left as a matter of fact. And yeah, taking off my yarn. So this, so normally I'm supposed to turn around and go backwards. Yeah, so what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to start from this side. Okay, and I'll be getting rid of my 4 millimeter, and I'll be using here, and I'll be using my 4.50 millimeter. And in this, I'm going to switch to double crochet. So we'll no longer be doing single crochets, we'll be doing double crochets. Okay, so I'm going to attach my yarn somewhere here, which is what I have estimated what I have estimated as a good place to begin. Okay, so I don't want it to be in the middle, so it has to be at the other half of one part of the leg. Yeah, so so here we go. So because I'll have to start the other way around, so I'll be turning my work. Okay, and I'll be attaching my hook in here. And I'll be going in with a double crochet, double crochet, and I'll be going into every stitch around with a double crochet. I'm sure we all know how to do double crochets, so um this is how to do a double crochet. Okay, so you can play slowly, yarn over, go into the stitch underneath, pull out a loop, yarn over, pull through two, yarn over, pull through two, and we have our double crochet. So I'll keep going until I get to the opposite side, until I get here, and when I do, um I'm not going to be joining the round, so I'll just turn around. Okay, it's as simple as that. So I'll see you when I get there. And basically, once we get there, it's just the same thing that we'll be doing until we get our full length. So this skirt is really easy, it's beginner friendly. um no, nothing much, no complicated stitches, just single crochet, um the front loop rib stitches we did for the waist part, and now the what's it called, the rest of the length of the skirts where we are doing our double crochet. So it's just single crochets and double crochets all through, as simple as that. So I'll see you when I get to the other side, and then I'll show you how to turn backwards and keep going. And mind you, when you get to this point, remember, this is a stitch. Okay, this is a stitch, so do not leave it out. This is a stitch. You'll be going in here, and I'll be going in here. So I am here, almost at the end. If you heard that crack, it's my neck. And I'll keep going in with my double crochet, and I've gotten to the last stitch, so doing my double crochet again. Now this is where we started, and instead of joining the work together, nope, we will not be doing that. We will be chaining one, turn our work around, go into the first stitch with a double crochet. Okay, all right, and we keep going into each stitch, every individual stitch with one double crochet each. Okay, so when we get to this part, I keep hitting my camera. When we get to this part, we do the same thing and we turn around. Okay, we end with a double crochet and we turn around. No joining stitches, so that we'll be able to get the slits. So I'll be doing this until I get 15 inches. Okay, so it's going to be a mini skirt, and I am going for 15 inches. So when I'm at 15 inches, my job is done and my skirt is ready. So I'll do that and I'll come back to show you my progress, and I'll also be making the string, the lace for the skirts. Okay, so I hope this is insightful so far. And please remember, we have stopped doing increases. We stopped doing increases in our single crochets. Okay, the last single crochet was the last increase. Okay, so here we are just doing normal rows, no increases, no decreases, nothing, just straight out. All right, I thought to add that just in case someone lost track. But if you already made the mistake of making an increase, well, you could let it slide. It's not going to make much of a difference. But just to put that in there, if I didn't mention it earlier, because I have a feeling I did not. So let's keep going until we get the full length of our skirts, and I'll see you. Stay tuned and subscribe. Just to give you a view of what it looks like so far. This is it. Okay, now this is because of the increases. Definitely is going to flatten out, but the point of the whole thing is so that the space can, the increase can accommodate the glutes, you know, because the front of your leg is, the front of your body is flat and the back is curvy, it's protruding. So um yeah, it's still the same length, it's just the increase. Okay, it's still the same length, but it's just the increase. That's why you see this place is up, this place is down. But when we finish, everything is going to be the same. All right, so have no fears if that's what you're seeing, and I'll see you when I get my full length. Welcome back, and this is what we have so far. So my skirt is actually a mini skirt, so I was supposed to do 15 inches, thinking that 15 inches was actually the requested length, but apparently it was 13 inches. So now I have about 13 and a half inches here, and to complete the length of our skirts, so far we've been doing double crochets, but in the last row we'll be doing single crochets to round off our work. Okay, so we'll be going into every stitch here with a single crochet up onto the very end, up until the very end. What am I saying? So we'll be doing single crochets till we get to the end, and when we get there, we'll be cutting off our yarn because we are done creating our skirts. Okay, so I have to bring this closer now. So I did this so we can see what we're working on. So this is our single crochets. Ah, that's my neighbors. They are loud. They're not loud, shabots. Yeah, they're being loud now. So single crochet until we get to the end, and then we'll cut off our yarn and begin making our lace for this part of our skirts. Okay, and I'll see you when I get there. So I have gotten to the end, and I will be cutting off my yarn. So this is my last stitch. Chain one to seal the round, and yeah, cutting off my yarn, and we are done. So I'll be making a slip knot, and this is it. So it's going to simply be this. So here, this, go into the circle with my hook, pull out a loop, hold the loop I just pulled out, and drag so it can tighten. Okay, and then you can now pull it to make it decent in size. Then you yarn over, pull through, 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 and this is basically how you make a chain. Okay, and you keep doing this until you have about say 150 to 200, depending on the size of your skirt, really, because the lacing might be long enough for you or short. So you just measure what you measure what's going to be suitable for your own skirts and for your size. Okay, so bear that in mind and make your lace rope that long or that short if yours is supposed to be shorter. So basically that's it, and I'll come back to show you how to attach the rope. All right, see ya in a bit. And I'll be making another color, by the way, so in case I show up with a different color, but I might not, I don't know. See ya. All right, people, so we're back, and I am done making the strings. I made two strings actually, so it can be switched, if you want to use this color, just add a little bit of color to the white, or you can still use the white, um whichever one. So I'm going to be using this because it's a bit colorful and brighter than the white. So I guess, so to do this, it's crazy because everything I do here, I I literally just freehand it. Okay, so we'll be going into the first space here, between the first stitch and the second stitch, and we're going into the next space here between the first stitch and the second stitch. That's a little bit of tongue twister. So I'll be going in and I'll be pulling the string through both, and I'll make sure that when I do that, they both equal to each other. Okay, so here we have it first. Now you can do yours from inside to outside or outside to inside, whichever one works best for you. So you cross it, and we skip one, two, and we go into the third. I hope my counting is going to be correct. One, two, third, 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 one, two, third. Okay, I might have to do skip one. You know what? Let's go into the fourth then. We skip three, one, two, three, and we go into the fourth. I don't know how that's going to work out by the end, but really, you just have to do what works for you. And what I'm trying to do is to do it in a way that's that what exactly I'm working on here would, the stringing, like the lacing rather, is going to show really well. Okay, because if I do it too close, it might not show the way it's supposed to, or the way I would want it to. So I just want to see that X X X X X, like the big X. Um, so there is that. Okay. Yeah. One, two, three. And I'll go into the fourth. So you don't necessarily have to do it the way I'm doing it, please. You can do yours however it is that suits you, whichever one works best for you. Um, basically. So just know what works for you and go with that. Um, okay. I think for the end here, I'm just going to do two, two. I'm going to skip two and do into the third here. One, two, three, and go into the third. Because now I know that there is another way I could have done this, alright, but I would rather, just so you know that not every crochet project, have to be done perfectly. Because sometimes we just use our head and do whatever nonsense and we fix it later. So it's never always well calculated. And I guess this is my own example for that. I'm going to definitely fix this later, maybe do something different. But for now, I'm gonna have to stick with whatever situation I've got going on here. And yeah, so I'm going into the last stitch here, which is actually for the single crochet. And we are done. So here we have, these are my ends. I'm going to weave it in. So this is what we have. This is our skirts. How cool is this? So cool. So when you put it on, you can now tie your string. Okay. Let me raise this up a bit. I hope it doesn't mess anything up. Perfecto. So this is our skirts. And yeah, this is our listen. How cool is that? Now, if you like this, because it's a really simple project, it's good for beginners, and you think, oh, she did a great job, how about you let me know by liking, subscribing to the channel, and leaving a comment to let me know I did a good job. Yeah, how about that? Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and subscribe to the channel, share with your friends, make yours, tag me when you are done, and yeah, I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye.
Fascinating guy, right? You gotta just admit, he's fascinating.